The 10th generation of Pokemon is right around the corner, and we're going to be breaking down some insane leaks and more, talking about the new mechanics, the map, and of course, the starter Pokemon that we might see in Generation 10. Let's break it down. If you missed my last video, a ton of stuff leaked over the Christmas holiday, and more information continues to come out as we head towards what we're anticipating to be a Pokemon Day reveal for Generation 10, leading to a release at the end of 2026. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on all of our leaks, news, updates, and more for the Pokemon franchise. We're going to talk first about the new mechanic Majin, which has a lot of mystery surrounding it. We know that there's going to be a new gimmick in the game based on the leaks that we've seen so far, and much like we've seen things like Dynamax and Gigantamax and Mega Evolution and Terrestrialization, it seems as though this new gimmick is called Majin or surrounded by Majin and ultimately has some impact based on the weather. So let's break down this really interesting post that apparently came from the Terra leak from Light. Then again, we're going to talk about a bunch of other stuff like the map and potential starter evolutions, and a massive surprise, by the way, that a user found and uncovered some crazy stuff. Let's talk about Gaia and Majin here and what this could mean for the upcoming Pokemon games. This post goes on to say that the Majin is a group of extra-dimensional beings led by a mysterious figure. According to regional folklore, these gods are capable of possessing both Pokemon and people alike. It is said the Majin raise the islands themselves from the sea and act as the guardian deities of each island. When possessing a sufficiently powerful vessel, they can change their power into reality, shaping their domains in their own image. So this is talking about the fact that the Majin are these gods, and they can possess both people and Pokemon. They are the ones that are ultimately shaping the region here. Then there's the vessels, exceptionally powerful Pokemon that become possessed by the Majin. So these are Pokemon that are possessed by this powerful god or deity. Concept art reportedly depicted the leader of the Majin inhabiting a legendary or mythical Pokemon, granting it immense power, subtle coloration changes, and a visible aura, similar to the effects seen on the trial boss in Sun and Moon. The vessel serves as the focal point of the Majin's power, gaining the ability to alter the environment, unleash devastating attacks, and more. And that's what we see in that image of the Pikachu. It's being distorted, it's got a slight coloration change, and ultimately it becomes a vessel for the Majin. Apotheosis. By holding an item associated with a specific Majin, a player's Pokemon may receive that Majin's blessing. This results in stat changes aligned with the Majin's nature. For example, offensive Majin granting offensive boost. Upon activation, storm clouds gather around the Pokemon in a swirling vortex as lightning strikes, signaling the blessing. This indicates that not only is this vessel Pokemon able to get powered up by a Majin, but you'll be able to utilize a held item to choose which Majin you're going to get. So much like you can use a Z Crystal essentially to choose your Z move, or a Mega Stone to Mega Evolve, or whatever it may be, it seems as though each Pokemon will be able to hold this specific item for each Majin and then be powered up based on kind of the power up you're aiming for. Then it goes on to say the Apostles, which are certain Pokemon species, benefit more from apotheosis than others. These species are spiritually attuned to a specific Majin, and when they undergo apotheosis using that Majin's item, they fully ascend, gaining a form functionality similar to Mega Evolution, shaped in the image of their patron Majin. So any Pokemon is going to be able to go under this apotheosis and become a vessel, but some Pokemon are Apostles. They're more attuned to these Majins and can gain these powers and become even stronger and change their forms. Kind of the difference of Dynamax versus Gigantamax. It feels very similar to that idea, but reimagined for this new region. I don't know about you, but I find all of this incredibly fascinating, and I cannot wait to see where this new mechanic goes. It seems like it's very diverse, like Dynamax and Gigantamax are, and it also gives an Terrestrialization too, in the sense that every Pokemon can take advantage of it, whereas Mega Evolution is obviously pigeonholed to only specific Pokemon. I think they've tried to kind of go away from that and allow every Pokemon to be able to use the gimmick. As always, this stuff is subject to change and may not be real, so we need to keep that in mind, but I think this is incredible stuff to discuss and break down as we wait for the big reveals. Before I dive into the map a little bit more, I gotta let you guys know that my friends at G Fuel have a massive sale going on to finish up the year. It is buy one, get one, and you don't want to miss out. For those who don't know, I drink this stuff every single day. I've got my own flavor called Shiny Splash. It is called G Fuel. It's got 15 calories, 0 sugar, and a great blend of vitamins and antioxidants to keep you fueled and energized throughout the day. This is the energy drink that I prefer and that I love because, again, I don't get any stomach aches, I get no crashes, I get a nice clean energy that gets me energized so I can make all my videos, hang out with my kids, and have a good time. So I highly recommend this. My flavor Shiny Splash is on sale right now, and there's a buy one get one free on a ton of other flavors. So you can use my link in the description and check it out. Like I said, super good deal. I recommend Hype Sauce. It's one of my favorite flavors. Raspberry Lemonade, but you'll see they have a ton of different flavors. I mean, Nuka-Cola, Miami Nights, which is like a pina colada. There's so many different amazing flavors that you can grab with G Fuel 2.0, so don't miss out. Take advantage of the BOGO. Time is limited, and you can use my link in the description below or use code aDrive to hook me up. Don't miss out on the end of your BOGO sale with my friends at G Fuel. Light highlights in a new post that says Luminion will help us explore while diving, illuminating the darkness. That means we can expect Chinchou and Lantern return, and maybe even regional forms or brand new Pokemon that can light up the depths even more. Makes a lot of sense to me. I love this post from Soul Silver Art, though, talking about the map and details, and a big shout out to Soul Silver Art and, of course, the Hidden Power podcast. He goes on to say, if you love maps and details like me, then there's an exciting secret in the Gen 10 beta map. There's actually 2 to 3 mainline areas on the map. One of them is Australia. Just look at the bottom right corner. It's part of Australia near Darwin and the Tiwi Islands. This is the most exciting thing about this on the map because it means there's not only a possibility that we get Australian themes and Pokemon in Gen 10, but we might even go to this part of Australia in Gen 10 before we get Australian DLC, which wouldn't be surprising. But it does seem as though the map leaks that we have so far do indicate not only the Southeast Asia, Indonesia type location, a bunch of these different islands, but it does seem as though the Tiwi Islands and part of Australia are included in the current map design that we're seeing, which could be transformative because I think a lot of us would be really excited about the prospects of an Australian region. I think that would go really hard. I think that would be pretty sweet. We've got this post here from Reddit. A user actually lined up the 2 maps. I thought this was really cool, showing the different areas of basically New Guinea and Indonesia and Singapore and all these different areas kind of in the real world lined up with the different islands from the map. So pretty cool stuff there. If you're interested in this kind of stuff, there's a lot to dive into and uncover, and I'm sure if we took a deep dive into this region, we could find some really cool animals that could inspire new Pokemon designs going into Gen 10. And then as we talk about starter evolutions and we talk about the potential of Australia and the tie-in to Indonesia, there's some really cool, famously Australian Pokemon that Soul Silver highlighted on Twitter that I quite liked. You've got the black flying fox, you've got the echidna and the cassowary, this crazy bird. There's a lot of options, and not even to mention the platypus. Platypus? That's what it's called. There's an Elestral called Platypus, and I always mess it up. There's a platypus. You could have a platypus. I don't think Psyduck counts, but a platypus could be pretty sick. And then the cassowary is also another sick one. That bird is nuts. It looks like a dinosaur, dude. That would be a crazy Pokemon for them to integrate. But a lot of different options for potential starters or different Pokemon that could be based on this region. We talked about Diving Monkey in a previous video. There's a lot they can do here, and I am really excited to see what they're going to cook up. This map looks sick. I love the idea of island travel, especially being exploring between the islands. Alola was cool. One of my favorite kind of biome games. There was a lot to do in Alola, but you transported to each island. This one, being able to travel yourself, that could be one of the coolest Pokemon experiences we ever see. Get yourself some Shiny Splash right now for the BOGO deal. You can get it on a discount or pick up some of the G Fuel 2.0 flavors like Hype Sauce or Miami Nights, some of my absolute favorites. It is an incredible deal. Use my link in the description below. And let me know your thoughts on the latest Gen 10 leaks. Do you think we're going to Australia? That would be pretty crazy. I'd be actually pretty stoked about that. And of course, that Majin mechanic is so incredibly interesting. Stay tuned for more updates and Pokemon leaks and more. I'll see you guys soon. Peace out.